We are living in an era where people talk too much, yet understand themselves far too little. You are taught that you must share, you must prove yourself, you must show the world that you are busy, that you are moving forward, that you are becoming valuable. But the more you speak, the more exhausted you become. The more you seek recognition from the outside, the more you feel a silent void expanding within you. Carl Jung believed that people do not lose their way because they lack direction, but because they have turned their backs on their own inner world. When you live through other people's eyes, you are forced to wear a social mask in order to survive. And then over time, you no longer know what performance is and what is real. Silence, therefore, is not running away from life. Silence is the moment you stop performing, stop explaining, and begin listening to what is operating deep within your unconscious. 2026 has just begun. Perhaps this is not the year for you to be louder, but the year for you to be brave enough to return inward. A year to focus on yourself, face yourself, and begin the true process of maturation that Jung called individuation. If you feel it is time to live more authentically, more deeply, and no longer depend on the world's applause, stay with this video until the end. And if you are ready to step into that journey, comment, "I am ready," because what you're about to hear may not make your life easier, but it will help you understand yourself more deeply, and that is the beginning of a life that truly belongs to you. Number 1, why do you always need other people's approval? There are reactions that happen quickly and feel familiar. A slight irritation when you are ignored, a hollow feeling when no one responds, or a vague disappointment when your efforts are not seen. They are often dismissed as small things, but at a deeper psychological level, they are not random. As 2026 opens, these reactions become clearer, like a signal that your worth is being placed too heavily in external eyes. This sense of insecurity does not come from pride, but from a silent emptiness within, a place where you have not truly stood firmly with yourself unless someone confirms it for you. According to Jung, people are not born dependent on other people's gaze. That dependence is formed gradually as the connection between a person and their own inner world begins to weaken. When you can no longer hear the voice inside clearly, you are forced to turn outward and ask the world who you are. At that point, recognition is no longer simply joy or encouragement. It becomes a form of psychological evidence, evidence that you exist, that you are good enough, that you have a reason to stand here. And when you do not receive that evidence, a deep anxiety immediately appears. In a transitional moment like 2026, many people begin to feel this anxiety more clearly than ever. I once knew a friend like that. On the surface, he was very energetic, captivating in conversation, and always the one who spoke the most in group discussions. He frequently shared achievements, plans, and even personal struggles on social media. But what caught my attention was not how often he appeared. It was how he reacted when he was not noticed. If a post did not receive the responses he expected, he became irritable, withdrew, and began doubting himself. When we talked more deeply, he admitted that if no one responded, he felt like he was nothing. From a Jungian perspective, that was not a problem of social media or of other people being careless. It was a sign that he had lost his inner anchor a long time ago. Jung held that when the inner ego is not strong enough, a person will try to anchor themselves at the outer world. Every compliment, every nod, every like is like a temporary stake you use to tie your self-worth to. But those stakes are never lasting. They depend entirely on other people's moods, attention, and capacity. And when one stake is pulled out, you are not only sad, you are also disoriented, as if a part of your very existence has been taken away. In today's context, as life moves faster and attention becomes fragile, that feeling becomes even easier to trigger. There is a truth Jung pointed to, but very few people dare to face it. Loneliness does not come from having no people around, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important. When you cannot connect with what is most important within you, you try to speak more, show more, appear more, hoping someone will see you and name you for you. But that recognition only touches the surface. It never reaches the roots of loneliness. Imagine you are standing in the middle of the sea at night. If you can see a lighthouse ahead, you will not panic too much, even if the waves are high and everything around you is dark, because you know where you are heading. But if there is no light to orient you, you will start clinging to anything floating on the water.